Hello, welcome. I'm the sports judge. I hope your day is well. The New York Knicks are the number 2 seed. New York, stand up. I really like this Knicks team a lot, and I think they have what it takes to really make some noise for the first time in a long time. The New York faithful certainly hope so. The Ben Stillers, the Spike Lees, the rest of the New York celebrity natives who crowd courtside to watch their beloved basketball team. The number 8 Heat and number 7 Sixers face off Wednesday in Philly with the winning team going to the Garden for game 1 next weekend. The good thing is that the New York Knicks secured home court advantage in the second round, assuming they get there and will avoid the number 1 Celtics until the conference finals. The Knicks will no question face a tougher road with either the Sixers or the Miami Heat, the play-in winner, right? Especially if they match up against Jimmy Butler. We all know that he comes to life in the playoffs. And this Miami Heat team who ousted them last April in the second round. With a talented roster and the coaching staff behind them, they want that smoke. Trust me, the New York Knicks want that smoke. They never back down on that. They're not scared of anybody. And I don't think they care who they play. I think they can take out whoever they face. Unfortunately, you don't have Julius Randle. You're without him. And even with OG Anunoby, the injury, the time that he missed, he was injured for a chunk of that time. Even with Mitchell Robinson sidelined during that stretch, the Knicks still ended up being the number 2 seed. As we sit here today, we're talking about a Knicks team that has eradicated a culture of losing and built something special that they know they can hang with just about anybody in the East and compete like the dogs that they are. Once again, winning is the priority. I've seen it with these Knicks. They're good enough to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Watch out. To be clear, they got a star in Jalen Brunson. The man can flat out play. Jalen is that damn good. That's partly why the Knicks have returned to respectability, because of what he can do on a nightly basis. This is a big market team, and Jalen Brunson is certainly built for a big market. This is a guy who doesn't let the pressure of playing for the Knicks impact him in a negative way at all. With Brunson, they can go real far. Let me throw some numbers by you. Did you know that over the last 10 games, Brunson is averaging 37.8 points per game on 40% shooting from 3 with 8.3 assists? He's on a 7-game streak of scoring 30 or more points in a game. Might I add that he's averaging 38 points on 44% shooting from 3 on 8.6 assists during the streak. And the Knicks ended the season on a 5-game winning streak, winning 50 games and securing the number 2 seed for the first time since 2013. Oh, and by the way, while we're at it, here's another stat I want to throw by you. The Knicks have a record of 20-3 when OG Anunoby plays and performs like the league's stingiest team. Right? When he plays and when the Knicks perform like this stingiest team. You got Grimes playing well. And Hartenstein keeps flourishing in his role as a reserve. Dante DiVincenzo is firing up more threes. Let's see if he can step up in a big spot and continue to be an inferno as he's been here of late. Brunson iced his masterpiece season with 40 points. The OG Anunoby trade transformed the Knicks, turned them into to a true contender. Tom Thibodeau will receive significant consideration. He will receive Coach of the Year consideration for guiding the Knicks to a top 10 finish in both offensive and defensive efficiency, despite an injury-plagued roster. This is a different year, a different Knicks team. They're locked in, so I don't think it matters who they face at this point. You're thinking sweet revenge if it's the Miami Heat. It's not about ducking anybody or about thinking a team is easy to beat. This is the playoffs. It's not an easy path regardless, because somewhere down the road, you will run into the Boston Celtics. Okay, they'll be waiting for you somewhere down the road. If I'm a New York fan, I want Miami. I'm a Laker fan, and I want Denver. Don't you want revenge? How nice is it to get a chance to try to beat the team that dispatched you from the playoffs a year ago? This is an opportunity for the Knicks to exercise their demons. This has to be the next chapter in this story. I think, and look, I have said this about the Knicks. I think if there's one team that can challenge the Celtics, it's the New York Knicks. Who else in the East scares you? The Knicks certainly are not scared. They're not scared at all. They won't back down. I think they're better than the Heat and the Sixers. There's no argument that they're better than that dysfunctional Bucks team. I think the Miami Heat are the preferred matchup. And hey, I don't mind the renewal of this bitter rivalry. I don't. I reminisce about those 90s Miami-New York matchups all the time. Man, were those the days. Those were the days right there. And here you have two rival teams clashing in what would be one hell of a series. There are question marks without Julius Randle, obviously, but I'm looking at a bench that can mainly navigate the offense with the way it has played. OG is a two-way player who fits inside their core rotation perfectly. Like, look at Josh Hart. He's been everything for this team. I don't think we're going to see him fold this time around. Last season in the playoffs, the Heat exposed him. He was bad in the playoffs. I feel like at times he just shows a lack of confidence in terms of shot selection, and that compromises the spacing for the entire team. But when he's on his game, laser focused and playing smart, he's arguably the best player on the floor outside of Jalen Brunson. Comes off the bench and makes something happen. Like we saw this team. They're playing beautiful basketball right now. It's their defense you kind of got to worry about as well, because they got a lot of strong perimeter defenders to throw at you. To me, they match up extremely well against anybody in the East. I mean the Celtics. The next time they see them might have something to say about that, obviously. But this is a different season. Yes, the New York Knicks miss Randle, but they have terrific shooters around Bronson, no doubt about it. You got a stud in Bronson who is so good at controlling the pace and controlling the game and has the pieces that fit his play style. I trust those guys to make their shots. Eastern Conference Finals, could definitely see it. They have a legit chance to beat anybody. Thanks for watching, everyone. Really appreciate the love and support. We'll talk very soon. I'll be back with more content as always as the NBA playoffs get underway this weekend. We got some play-in games. I'll talk about that. I'll talk about the Lakers. I have my reaction to that. See you guys when I see you guys again. Take care, everyone.